coming to you live here. I'm in, where the hell am I? I'm in Charleston, South Carolina. It's tough to keep track. Just yesterday I was in Nags Head, North Carolina. Enough about my travels and all that fun. I had an interesting evening tonight. So I'm traveling. I come here to a hotel from the airport. Kind of relax a little bit. I don't have anything to do till tomorrow. Decide I'm going to go on Yelp and find a local restaurant that I might like to go to. And I find this little seafood restaurant, does seafood boils, seafood pots. And I'm like, okay, I'll give it a try. I'm in land of shrimp, right? And I want to go out there and see what there might be to offer here locally. So I go find this place. GPS takes me all over the place. I miss my turns, what have you. I look like what's in kind of more of a strip shopping center, more an industrial area. And I see the restaurant, I walk in, and it is barren. It is a gray floor with dots, if you will, if you can think of the coating that would have. It's got some pictures of seafood on the wall. It's really deep. So imagine it's a strip shopping center and it's one of those really deep insets. So I keep walking a few about, what feels like forever to where the counter was, which is in front of the closed off kitchen. And I'm looking at the menu boards. There are 2 TVs, and I can tell this is a small independent restaurant. Probably didn't put a lot of money in there because as I walked by, I've got metal outdoor tables with those $25 banquet chairs, the black banquet chairs that have about that much padding on them, and very few of them. It's sparse. And again, this is like bowling alley to walk in. So I'm like, what am I getting myself into? Do I really want to eat here? I look at the TVs and I say, I'd like to get the shrimp boil. And the guy at the register is like, well, I can get you that, but maybe you want the special. And the special has corn and potatoes and sausage in it, but I can order that for you. I'm like, oh, no, the special, that sounds great. So it's got a little, I'm like, we're talking really tiny independent. It's got a little refrigerator, open the door, grab my sodas, order some gumbo, and sit down at this picnic table, if you will, or outdoor four-top it's got the metal grating, right? So there's holes through the whole thing in these $25 banquet chairs. So I'm like, man, what did I get myself into? I'm buying shrimp boil at this little restaurant that really could suck, right? That's what I'm thinking. Well, what happens is they say, you eating here to go? I'm here. And so the kid, what I'm assuming is the son, grabs the stuff, brings it out to me, and drops it off, says enjoy. And here's this plastic container, styrofoam, I should say. Open it up, and there's in a bag a boil. And it's a traditional boil. I mean, it's the shrimp with the heads on, the potatoes, the corn, all the stuff. It looks really, really good. And it comes with a little to-go bag that's got the napkin and the fork and what have you. And I'm like, okay, with some extra napkins. What would be really cheap napkins? So again, I'm lowering my expectations as this meal goes on. Well, I open up the bag and I start ripping the heads off these shrimp. I open up the gumbo. I take a couple bites, and I'm like, some bitch, this food's pretty good. I mean, like, I'm eating one shrimp after the next shrimp after the next shrimp, potato. I'm like, this is really flipping good. So now I'm looking around going, but this is such a little barren. It wasn't dirty. It wasn't like it was this crap hole of a restaurant. It was just like, I don't know, generic and just very undone. So all of a sudden I'm sitting here and I will tell you that I don't do this almost ever. I start thinking about how I can help this restaurant. Now, remember, my job is not to help you with design. That's not what I do. I'm not going to help you with, where your food is as far as what ingredients you use, this, that, the other. But I can help you with systems, and I can help you with profitability, I can with menu engineering, all these different things. But my head starts spinning. I'm like, I really like this flipping restaurant. This food is good, and I'm looking at what looks to be a husband, wife, and a kid, and they're running this place. I don't know if they were Hawaiian or Filipino or what have you, but definitely some ethnicity, if I could say that. And so it really felt family. It felt pretty cool. But again, barren. So I started thinking, man, in these tables, we could put, if you will, those, the red checker wipeable tablecloths. Now, instead, when I take every bite of my gumbo, I'm not worried about if it drips and falls through those metal grates of this this metal table and go right under my pants. I start thinking, well, wait a second. If we did that, I look over, there's like a sparse number of tables in this place. There's lots of room. I'm like, man, we could bring in some picnic tables. Imagine 2-3 picnic tables together with the same tablecloth, wipeable tablecloth on top. So now it's feeling a little more campy, and you've got this communal feel to it. Well, I'm thinking, oh, now we need paper towels on the table, and they need to bring wipes to the table. And I'm going through them, going, oh, soda? They'd make more money if they had a soda gun. I'm looking at the walls. I'm thinking, man, if they had a chair rail, we could put the wood paneling down below it, or a two-tone paint, so it gives a little more depth. And I'm going through all this, and then I look at the two menu boards, if you will, two TVs, and I'm going, man, the font's too small, there's red, it's tough to see. Then there's all these pictures, and what's the most prominent thing on both these two TVs is the damn logo with the phone number. I'm like, I'm thinking whenever I teach menus, when you put your logo on a paper menu, and it's an ego need, because guess what? The customer knows where they frickin' are. I mean, I knew where I was. I walked into the building. Anyway. So my head is spinning. I'm looking at all these different things, and I start taking notes. I grab my phone and I start taking notes. I'm like, all right, look. One of the things I almost never do is I never piss in your sandbox, right? I don't go into your restaurant, give you suggestions if I've not been invited. I don't pee in your sandbox unless I'm invited. I couldn't help myself. And at this point, I'm like, I find the guy and I say, is this your restaurant? He says, yes. I said, man, your food's excellent. So his guard goes down a little bit. I said, look, man, are you open to some ideas? Now, first I want to tell you I'm in the restaurant business. I pull out my business card, hand it to him. I said, I'm not trying to sell you anything. I got nothing to sell you. I really like this restaurant. I love your food, and I've got some really low-cost ideas. And he says, sure. So I start running through them, and as I run through one idea, he tells me why it can't be done. He runs through another idea, tells why it can't be done. And you can tell that he really didn't give a flying hoo-ha. I mean, I get to, like, the menu board. Oh, my brother-in-law is I told him he's going to make it darker and this, that, the other. I'm like, I'm running through these ideas, and what I think could really increase their sales by 20%. No kidding. They're a majorly to-go restaurant, but the fact of the matter is there's plenty of place to put people. Now, there was a restriction. They can only have so many people dining in there because they'd have to add another bathroom, things like that. So I get it. I get that no part. But I'm giving these what I think are great ideas. What the hell? I've only been in the industry for 30 plus years. I'm only the restaurant expert because restaurant expert URL was taken, right? And so I'm sharing these ideas, and I can hear the get the hell out of my restaurant face on. Like, oh yeah, it's great. Stop talking to me, dude. I don't know you. You don't know anything. Now, I'm hoping that most of you would be watching me right now and be like, if I walked into your restaurant and I were to volunteer helping you, you'd be like, shit, yeah. Give me the information. And so why do I bring this up? We at therestaurantexpert.com help restaurants make more money. We help you get your life back. We help you put a management team in place. But you know what? I'm a restaurant guy just like you. Being in the industry for so long, through osmosis, there's some good ideas. I think there's some good ideas. So if somebody were to approach you and they said they're not selling you anything, I mean, that's the big one, right? Is you don't want to feel sold. And I didn't. I literally just kind of liked the place. I knew it was a small independent. I could see it was a family. I wanted to help. Are you open to new ideas, or do you shut them down? This is really important, because if you always do what you always did, you always get what you always got, right? That's the Albert Einstein thing, definition of insanity. Doing the same thing over and over again, but expecting a different result. Are you open to new ideas? Think about that. How often does somebody bring to you an idea? Now, I get it. Look, you get ideas every single day. Sometimes when I was running a bar, restaurant, the 10 regulars that sat at the bar every single day, who wanted to tell me how to run the restaurant every single day, I listened to every single day. I was like the only manager. Because when you realize how much money they're worth to you annually, these people spend a lot of money. Well, I'd appease them. Was I really present? Was I really paying attention? Did I know everything? I probably knew everything I thought as a young manager. I probably really wasn't paying attention, but I at least was doing good PR. I was touching tables, if you will, listening to the customers. But you know what? There may be An owner, a restaurant owner from another place walks in, loves your place, and gives you a couple ideas. And you need to be open to them. Because I'll give you an example. We were just in Nag's Head, our elite group. We've got 20 plus restaurant owners for all over North America, Canada, the United States. We meet on a quarterly basis at each other's restaurant. And it's called a mastermind group, and we share and do all these things. But we call it brutal honesty. They'll show up in the restaurant and they will rip you a new one, tell you everything you're doing wrong, but they'll take the shirt off their back to help you. Now, it's the most incredible thing when you have somebody else in the industry who looks at your place with open eyes and can give you really constructive criticism and ideas to improve your business. Now, we as a group, the restaurant expert, the elite group, they're open to new ideas. They trust each other. So there's one thing that's a little different, right? Me walking into this independent restaurant, wanting to volunteer information for free. I had no ulterior agenda, but what was going on in their brain? His brain, that owner, was like, what's this guy going to sell me? There's a catch, there's a hook. Didn't want to trust, or felt like, man, you don't know my business. So I would tell you this. While I'm sure you need to have your guard up from time to time, and there's some people who always want to help you with your business and they have no freaking idea. But if you had another restaurant owner, a manager, somebody in the profession, wouldn't it be worth just listening? Isn't there a chance that there might be one good idea that you didn't come up with all by yourself? So I guess the whole point of me going live right now is not just to share you the story, but to get you to think, are you open to new ideas and change? Are you the authority in your business? Yes. But is there a possibility that somebody without the same set of glasses, without all the cloud in front of them of Sally didn't show up and Jose is threatened to quit and wants more money and, run through all the little stuff that drives us nuts in our restaurant every single day? And is there somebody who might have walked in and could have helped? Could there have been a peer? Could have been one of your managers? Could have been one of your employees? Are you the authority in your business? Yes. But is there a chance that somebody else has a pretty good idea and you're not listening and you're not hearing, you're not taking action? So that's really the point of this. I want you to think about your business. Now, whether it's calling us here at therestaurantexpert.com to learn more, whether it's reading a book, whether it's going online and searching information, you searching it, or whether it walks into your building or lives in your building as an employee, staff member, or a vendor, a distributor, somebody who walks in your door every day, have an open mind. Because that one idea could really make a difference, if that makes sense. Responsibility is serious change, Danny said. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Welcome. And that's really it. That's all I wanted to share with you guys. I appreciate you. I want you to know that if I walked in your restaurant 99% of the time, I won't say a damn word unless you invited me. But with that said, be open to change. Be open to new ideas. Hope you guys had a fantastic week. I look forward to talking to you next week. Again, be sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel so you can be notified for our weekly video tips. I'm trying to do weekly live tips. And starting next month, November 2018, there is a new video magazine. It's going to be about an hour long with chock full of information for you. And I'd love to have you subscribe and share and that we can help the industry get better. Thanks, everybody. I look forward to talking to you soon.